I found myself a clapper.
Hey.
Do I have to look at you when I'm doing my opening?
Yes, you do have to look at me.
Oh, this is fine? But the mic will catch me?
Okay, here we go. Okay.
No, she get a pillow.
getting a
Hold
pillow?
on, pause.
Okay, pause.
For the call. The dolls is dolling.
Okay, there goes the pillow right there. Reesa, is that you?
Huh? I can put one.
Are you good?
Is that okay?
I want a
Okay.
pillow.
Exactly. It's a nice little...
Last time it's been washed.
Can we start the segment?
Oh, yes.
Can we start? Okay. It's not you, Riley. It's them two.
Why is it
Like, what?
You know what? That's why I ain't saying nothing.
Live from the district. 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 Live from the district.
Welcome to another edition of Live from the District. Interesting stories from interesting people. I am Easy Street and have my special guests in the building, Reese, Renee, producer Stewart, and Riley Knoxx.
Hey.
People in the back, damn it, clap. Y'all better clap your hands, stomp your
Yes,
feet.
clap for me, honey. Clap for me.
I found myself a clapper.
Hey.
What's going on, man? We're at the 12 stories. I'm glad y'all can make it. Thank you for coming through.
Thank you for having us.
You're welcome. I would
Okay.
like a full tank of gas, but it's okay.
Okay, well, I'll hit your Cash App after the show.
Yes! Closed mouths don't get fed.
On the boulevard. All right, so now, hey, Riley, how are you?
I'm wonderful. How are you?
Oh, my goodness. Look at you. You know, I saw you on the internet, and you just...
What site?
What's so damn funny? I didn't even get into my question, and you two are already kicking.
Chad, don't start out with that one. Sorry, go ahead. What site?
Oh, I can't.
The one where she was performing with Maya this past weekend. I was going to ask about the performance. Golly.
We was trying to make sure, girl. You know, we support.
Did I miss something?
No, I'm just.
Riley,
I'm not on any other site. RileyKnoxx.com.
You said the internet.
So what are they talking about? I mean, I asked a simple question, and it just went in another direction.
I don't know. It's
You
lost
said
to
the
me.
internet.
Okay. So tell us
It was
about
funny
this.
the way you said it, though, right?
Tell us about this performance that you had with Maya just recently.
So Maya and I headlined Richmond Pride or VA Pride, and it was so much fun. It was amazing. The audience was amazing. There was a lot of people there. The venue was great. It was outside at a festival, but it was wonderful.
Okay, and you almost had a malfunction. It was a malfunction.
No, I did not have a malfunction.
Okay, there was the wind or something. What happened?
That was in Alabama the week before.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay,
That
I'm
was
getting
in
my
Alabama.
shows mixed up.
There was a wind malfunction.
Okay.
We were fighting against God's win, and God's win won.
Okay.
So-
Did anything get revealed or?
No, I was completely covered.
Okay.
No, it's completely covered.
just
It's
kinda-
just my hair was going this way instead of blowing this way because of the wind blowing behind me because the stage wasn't covered. It
Right.
was fine. I mean, we got through it. You know,
Tag me on the video, okay?
there is no video.
There is
for
no
that.
video.
We didn't share that
I will not let anyone
She
see
hit the
that video.
Beyonce.
That video
Please
was
do not put that on YouTube.
Nope, no one has that video.
So the Beyonce thing. You've been doing this for a really long time.
20
and
years this
Wow.
year.
one.
20 years?
Yeah. Yep. I'm the #1 Beyonce impersonator in the world.
Wow. So the places that you've traveled to impersonate Beyonce.
All over the world. And it's been incredible because, I mean, obviously I have the love of the Beehive, but also just seeing, I don't really get to see places when I perform.
Uh-huh.
I see the place on the way from the airport or as we're landing, but not usually like as I'm in there and out of there.
Right. Does
fast.
anyone ever really think that, oh my God, that's her?
I think people kind of know that I'm while I'm on stage, obviously that I'm a Beyonce impersonator. Obviously, they know that. I've had people do like double takes before, but you know, there's that. And then sometimes people will come up to me. This happened in Union Station the other day. I was leaving to catch a train somewhere, and this woman, she's like, "I don't mean to bother you." She's like, "But are you Beyonce?" And I was like, "No." And she's like, "I said I impersonate Beyonce." She's like, "Yeah, that's what I mean." She said, "I follow you on Instagram," and I'm like, "My name's Riley. Nice to meet you." She's really sweet though. Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Wonderful. I'm just imagining just you traveling and being a Beyonce impersonator that I'm pretty sure that when people see you, like crazy shit happens, right? Nothing crazy has ever happened since you've been a Beyonce impersonator?
Things, nothing super crazy, not stalkerish or anything. Is that
Okay.
Because I've had people get a little too close and be a little like,
Really?
yeah, because they're just kind of in the moment. And then there's people that are also just fans of mine. Because I have a lot of people who may not love Beyonce, which is wild and crazy,
Yes.
but may not just be a
dare
huge
you.
Beyonce fan, but are just fans of mine. And they just, I guess, get a little too comfortable, a little too close.
Well, you're sitting next to one of the DMV's biggest Beyonce fans right here.
You tried it.
No, I'm serious.
I went to the concert. I like Beyonce, but I like Riley more.
Oh,
You're so sweet. I love you.
I'm very much a fan of Riley.
Okay,
I've
wonderful.
very much been a supporter. For
Well, I'm just saying because I saw your photos on Instagram and you were in full. I mean, you came out and you represented.
I mean, that's what I was supposed to do. I mean, the thing about it is that her concert was calling for people to show up as themselves and their authenticness. And that's what I appreciated because FedEx Field, where I went,
Yes.
is traditionally a, more masculine, heteronormative.
Well, you've been to football games with me
you,
before.
right? What I'm saying is that you see the difference in, how someone acts and someone is when they go to a football game. And in my queer femme self, yes. But then when I go to Beyonce, I feel more relaxed. I feel more free because there's people around me
your
who
tribe.
look like me, who see me, who accept me, who, appreciate the value, the authenticness, the outfit. They appreciate everything that I bring to the table without even knowing me.
Right.
Without even seeing me. They're like, yes, bitch, work. Like, all of that and
Yeah.
giving you affirmations into everything. But you also have to walk in that confidently too.
Right, but
So-
when you're able to go into an arena like that or event like that and you feel like you could be your authentic self, isn't it freeing for you to be able to be that in that kind of environment? Because I'm a big fan of the ballroom. I'm talking like Paris is Burning like ballroom from the when the video first came out, and some of the things that were said by the individuals in the documentary was like, when I go to the ballroom, like this is like my safe space. Is that the way you feel at a Beyonce
That's
show?
exactly how I felt at that show. When I was with you at the game, when we went to the Commanders' first home opening game, we didn't really talk about this, but I was nervous in a sense.
Really?
Because I am my queer, authentic, gender non-conforming self. This is an arena where there are a lot of, there's a lot of aggressive attitude. There's a lot of masculine attitude.
Yeah, a lot of
and I don't
masculinity,
fit in
football.
that. I stick out like.
Why
a
did you
sore
take your
thumb.
ass to the game then?
Because even though that's that world, the
Right.
football world doesn't cater to people like me, even though football likes to say it does. It doesn't cater to people like us and me. But that doesn't stop me from showing up in rooms and showing up in spaces and enjoying my life. I can't be too afraid to go out and enjoy myself at a football game and never get that experience of seeing it live and taking it in. And as you see, we did have a great time.
Yeah, you've been to several games.
Yeah, I've been to several games. That doesn't stop me from going, but also I keep that in the back of my mind. This is not my space.
Right. Okay, well, thank you.
That doesn't keep you from showing up as your
No, it
authentic
doesn't
self.
at all. I show
How
up
come-
beat,
okay.
outfit, everything
So,
that I want to
so Reesa, now I have to ask him this question. Oh, yes. I'm glad my therapist is in here, too. I'm glad that Bashe's right over there.
But am I the only one that feels that way?
You should show up as your authentic self.
I
wherever
agree,
you are.
Everywhere.
but
Yeah.
here's my question. Me and you are real friends. I love you. You're my brother, right?
Yeah.
Okay, we're real friends, but you waited to bring this on the podcast. We've had hundreds of conversations between now and then, but now you bring it up now. Why is that? Ooh,
Because
street. Yes, I did. I went there.
You let into it. But also, like,
Why you never brought it up to me, though? We're friends.
I didn't think we needed to because I felt protected around you.
Okay.
I've never felt any type of way to feel scared or less than when I am around you.
Mm-hmm.
There are certain cis hetero men that, are my friends, and I still feel that way around them sometimes. I don't feel like they would protect me if something happened. I think they'd be more so embarrassed.
Right.
But with you, we can walk down the street, we go to dinner, we get our feet done, we get our nails
Yeah,
done, we get our hair
absolutely.
done,
Ain't
we
nothing
get
happening to
I
you.
do your brows. Like, we have a brotherhood and a relationship.
Right.
So when I am with you, I don't feel any type of way. If the world is coming against me, I know that you're there to protect me.
Right.
And nothing's ever happened
So
if
when-
we've been out.
so-
but
Last question.
Yeah.
So when you're not around me or if you're alone, you don't feel safe?
sometimes, yeah. And
Why?
even when I go out to bars like this where we're at now, this is a more cis hetero club. I can go to a queer club and I feel safer. And it starts at the door. It starts at the ID. It starts at the bouncers. It starts at the people who pat you down and, the way they greet you when you come in, how they look at you, how the service treats you. Like, sometimes you get well welcomed. because you are fierce, fabulous, and femme. Other times you get, shitty service and shunned, and you can't explain why they treated you that way because maybe the service was terrible that day, or it could have been because you were queer.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead. You wanted to chime in, Reesa?
No, I definitely, the whole presentation thing it does depend on where you
Yeah.
are. Like, I say this all the time, and people, they think I'm joking or I'm attention seeking, but when my hair is braided versus when my bush is out, I definitely get different treatment depending on where I'm at.
Really?
Yeah, for sure. Because I've always dressed comfortable, but if my hair is braided and I dress comfortable, there's a different aura depending on who's looking at me, and I went on a whole tangent, I would say maybe in the last 6 to 8 months or so, because I live in California now and I'm by myself and I'm adjusting there, et cetera, et cetera. So I'm already kind of on edge just finding my space because my nucleus, if you will,
And
is
you're
on
in a
the
new
East Coast.
environment too?
So
Been there.
there have been moments, literal moments, where I've gone out and my hair was braided, and I'm not even lying to you. There's a scope of it to where when I got into any aggressive interaction, which typically is the male when it does happen, and it sucks that it's black men, and I would say a positive thing as well. It's always been when my hair is braided. But when my hair is out, I don't get attacked in that sense.
Why do you think that is?
I couldn't answer that because that ain't got nothing to do with me. Because
Right.
there's no energy that I'm exuding that's any different. I think that I do exude a assertive, I'm comfortable, and I'm feminine still, no matter how I present, if you will.
Mm-hmm.
Although, I kind of grew up in the house. Like, I was a daddy's girl when I came up, but I was the one, putting the countertops together, or the bed or the dressers or whatever. Like, that was always me with my dad, and basketball and sports and all these things. So one, being from where we're from, there's a different swagger about me in general, and I just don't think that some people are comfortable in that, you know what I mean? And I can have that same exact conversation, but then have on the flip side, especially with the black men, it's just like, I have so much love for black men, and just because I may date women or that's more comfortable or more healing environment for me, I have no animosity towards black men in any way, shape, or form. In fact, when I'm introduced to them in regards to one that's sensitive and will open up and allow me to see their transparent side, like I'm in a phase now of giving flowers in that moment, and me giving you flowers isn't like I think you fine or I'm trying to hit.
Right, you giving me flowers
Right,
before.
it's just
Yeah,
like,
I
here's
got
your flowers.
flowers.
Like,
Yeah.
I value that
Yeah.
so much because the masculine or the be a man's man, people are beating their chests for accolades or things that actually is being weak for real. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And just that energy, I just wish we in general could show up better for each other. You know what I mean?
Right.
But I feel
Well
like
said.
we, as the queer community, and I think most of the district, actually do show up for each other. I don't think that the cis hetero community shows up for us.
Right.
Unless we're entertaining them. They do show up there.
True.
Okay, so just for the record, cis heterosexual, explain exactly what that means. Does that mean me or is it
That's
what?
you.
That's
all of
me.
you. Yes.
Okay, so why do we put the cis in front of it and
It's a
just say,
prefix.
instead of just heterosexual? I'm just curious.
It's the prefix.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's what it is, pretty much. That's all it is.
Okay.
Anybody else want?
I would say, to my understanding, I was just eating last night and they got like all the definitions on it. So I'm still learning. I'm still learning.
Oh no,
We all are.
Yeah, we all are.
It evolves
Like,
every day.
y'all don't kill me. But I feel like isn't it someone who is born, like how they're brought into this world, if you will?
Yeah, so
like,
basically
Identify with the gender that they
they
were
came
born
into
at
this
birth.
world. Yes.
Yeah, I saw that before and I was like, wait a minute. So we're just saying that I'm
Basically a scientific term.
right. A
Right.
science.
That's you. Yeah,
Science.
Like I said, that's you.
Well, thank you. So I'm a cis
Hetero man.
Meaning
heterosexual.
on the same side of. That's what it
Wow.
means.
Okay. I'm learning today. Okay, so Reesa used the word comfortable. So let's focus in on this word comfortable. This is a question for each of you. What would make you feel more comfortable in this world? One thing that would make you feel more comfortable. I'm just curious.
Right.
Who want to go first?
I mean, I don't mind.
Go ahead, since you used the word first.
What is comfortable for real? We're all changing constantly. I have embraced the fact that, holistically speaking, I'll never be. But in a sense, it's almost like holistically speaking, will never be understood. And by we, everyone, people, you know, because we're constantly changing. Everybody has their own ethos. Everybody has their own upbringing. Everybody has their own DNA. And we all, some decide to evolve, some decide to stay. But there's going to be constant times where it's changing. So I guess maybe the comfort is in realizing that and being your authentic self and being prepared for those moments where
they come, honey.
Yes, where it's like,
they're few and far, but they come.
Yeah.
I would say the thing for me is I thrive in not being comfortable.
Right.
Because I feel like when I'm not comfortable, I'm being challenged. And if you're not being challenged, then you're not growing. And that's been my whole life. It's been with my career. That's been just in general in my life. Being comfortable is a little too safe for me.
Okay.
You know, and I feel like I'm not growing if I'm not being challenged by something. And I find that I learn something. I get something out of every situation, even if that something is just a no. You know, no, I'm not going to do that. No, I don't want to do that. No, I don't like that. No, you're not going to do that to me. You know, so I feel like I feel like I thrive more.
Okay. Well, thank you for adding. 'Cause I'm learning. Are we learning so much today?
Oh my!
I love to learn. This show is all about education and information.
Well, my answer to that is more so being comfortable in your relationships and friendships, and I mean that across the board, in your workplace, with your coworkers, and your family, your mom, your dad, whoever is around you, your village, and also your friends. Your friends may come and go. Your family, you may have to tell them or teach them how to love you. But I can tell y'all, I find comfortability with my family and friends a lot, and I walk in no matter if I'm in my masculine element, whatever the hell that is, and or if I'm in my feminine element. My family, my mom, my dad, their neighbors down in Alet, Virginia, do not care. And I've shown up, no makeup, all the makeup in the world, beat face, dress, all types of gender nonconformity, and not a word is uttered that has anything to do with why do I present this way? Why did you do this? You know, all of that stuff that does come out. So I have to say that I am blessed in that sense. But I find comfort in knowing that I'm loved, knowing that I'm supported, knowing that people have my back, and knowing that I am successful in the career that I've chosen to do. And I find comfort in that. And I think that that's what helps me also thrive and continue to be the Justin that is before you today. But also that version, as you said, changes. That version changes every day. Tomorrow, this face may be different. You know, when I go to work, sometimes I wear a little less makeup, not because I feel uncomfortable, it's because I ain't have the time. You know, but you know, some days I feel more in my femme element where I wear darker lipstick and green colors and, you know, and I just play it up more and I walk out the door and I also say to myself like, all right, Justin, you walking out the door like this. Let's go, girl. Like, you know, you have to put that armor on and get out the door.
Is there a word for that? Is it called fluidity? Is that what that is?
I call it gender nonconformity for me.
Because I'm just thinking about our times, like us going to the football game or us going on the boat and us how you presented yourself, like when we went to the Pink and White affair. I never really thought about it.
Even like at parties like that. I mean, I probably wasn't the only queer person in the room because I got DMs that night. But also I was in a room full of mostly cis hetero people celebrating and, you know, honoring breast cancer survivors. But as you saw that I walked in the room and I felt confident in what I was wearing.
Do you know how, hold on, stop. Let me just give you the story, Riley.
Okay.
What about me? And Reesa.
I'm looking at her. Okay. So we're in the party, right? We're at the breast cancer. I'm hosting it. You know, they got all these people performing. Layla Hathaway.
She only called me at 8:00 that morning.
Brand Nubian. Okay. We show up at the park. We show up in the park. I think I had on pink.
Yeah.
Did you have on pink?
Yeah.
He had on pink, right? So we're all, you know, looking sharp. People, you know, going through the crowd. And then, so we walked through this one area and there were women. They were like looking at like Justin. Like, I was like, and then I was like, well, do you want a picture with them? They was like, yes. And then
I bet.
I was like, damn. I was like, he was just get. And there was They was like, oh, the way he sachets. I was like, damn, how do I sachet? I was like, maybe
You don't. Don't do that.
What am I, chopped liver? I couldn't get.
But I would still love you if you shot.
I wouldn't get no love with this. It's very hard. You know, I'll just go ahead and admit this on. It's tough being your friend when we're in public and women are around.
I've heard that before,
oh my
too.
God.
No. And that's the serious thing. I've heard
he
that
gets
before.
so much attention.
A lot of friends that I've had in the past, and maybe y'all can chime in on that. My energy and my aura has always been the same. You know, I haven't changed. Because of my gender fluidity and because of who I am on Instagram and, you know, my social media persona and all the things that I do, I have friends who hold, you know, me accountable for making them feel valued because they feel less than when
I can see that.
And people come up and want a picture. People want to give you this.
I didn't get no pictures that night. Nobody wanted no photos or selfies with me.
I've had friends defriend me because of that. Yes.
Really?
I've had
You're like everybody's best friend. That's the way I think of you. Like that sucks that they would.
I've had friends defriend me because
and I have tough skin.
But that's mostly about
and I
their
felt
own
some kind of way.
And then
that has nothing to do with you.
Oh yeah,
That's why you still have to show up.
Is that
as your
right?
authentic self.
Exactly.
So Riley, is that my insecurity?
No.
Okay,
because he would never. You would
Because
never.
you're still inviting him to stuff.
Okay.
Right, the streets be asking about us anyways.
Listen.
That's probably more of a question for you, though.
Whenever we are out together and we put photos on Instagram and it just gets crazy.
But that's the thing about like having a cis hetero best friend
Right,
and a
right.
queer gender non-conforming friend. The streets love it, but also the streets question: is he? Because they have this thing called guilty by association,
Right.
But people just, I guess there haven't been enough examples.
Well, I'll just go ahead and just give you the story so people can know this. I've already shared this story with Justin. Okay, so I had a best friend by the name of Gregory Daniels, and we were friends from college, really good friends. And back then, this was in the 80s, I'm a little older, and you know, so he never came out to me. And that was cool. I was fine with that. We were friends. My ex-wife was like, you know, he loves you, right? I was like, yeah, we're cool. So me and him were cool. Then he moved, and I got into the radio career, and he moved to Chicago. He was working at Polo Ralph Lauren. And so we kind of separated for a long time. We were working. He was working in Chicago. And then we reconnected. And then I started going to Chicago to visit him for the annual house music picnic. And we went 2 years in a row. We had a good time. We were planning. We were eating at Maggiano's, enjoying ourselves and kicking it. He never came out to me, ever. Not that I needed him to. I just accepted him for who he was. That was my brother. I loved him. He loved me. We told each other we loved each other. Everything was all fine and dandy. One day I got a phone call after we had went the second time. Somebody told me at 3 o'clock in the morning that Gregory got killed. That, yes, somebody murdered him. And to this day, it's an unsolved murder. And so one of the things that I have done in this city was I wanted to make sure, it's part of my healing, to make sure that I surround myself with everybody in the city and to be inclusive with all of my relationships, because I wanted to be a whole person. I didn't want any part of Washington, D.C. that I didn't feel like that I would be comfortable being around a certain community. And so that's when I met this guy, and that's how we became friends. You know, yeah, and so, you know, and it blossomed into a brotherhood, a love, and, you know, this is like one of my best friends. So, you know, when people see it, as far as them thinking, well, hey, it's easy, I don't get it. Can I?
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
Like that.
He's part of my healing.
Oh, that's love, man. That is love.
Don't cry.
Exactly.
Don't cry.
Move the mics. Move the mics.
Patrick Star one side, you better hold up, girl.
Hold on.
So now
I love
would you like to say something?
No.
Still give me face.
Okay,
like, no.
So let's talk about
now.
this really quick. I got a topic. We got 10 more minutes. This is really good. He was supposed to be originally producing this segment, since that's what he does professionally.
Yes, but easy. You're doing a great job.
Am I doing good?
Yeah, you're segueing and it works. Like sometimes
Okay.
you don't have to plan things. You know how you plan things to the T and
Family.
God throws wrenches in the plan?
Yes.
And then you go along and the wrenches just happen and you're just like, all right, whatever. And the day works for you.
Right.
That's what's happening right now.
Okay. All right. Thank you, Lord. Thank you, Father.
But I'm glad you mentioned about your friend being murdered and, you know, him being queer and him being in your space, because that's the thing that happens to people like us all the time. And a lot of our murders don't get covered on the news, and a lot of our murders don't get solved. I'm an ID channel addict, so I love true crime, and I probably can count on one hand how many trans murders or non-binary murders that I've seen covered on mainstream news and in true crime. Period. Point blank.
Right.
Period.
And I know it's
and so,
It's
even
an
though we
issue.
live in a progressive city in DC, I
it still
can't think
happens.
of all the times that I have thought about like someone attacking me or someone, just being an ass or a dick just because I'm queer and they see me walking down the street, and hurting me or a fellow friend or, thankfully I haven't had anybody like that happen to. But I see it all the time.
Thanks for
And it's
sharing
just
that.
sad.
I appreciate that. And I pray a hedge of protection around
Okay. Amen. Jesus, cover me.
everybody on this panel and all of us
and
and anyone
beyond,
viewing.
okay.
Okay, so Riley, I want to ask you this. They have this day. Each year comes around, I don't know what the day, I think it just happened like this last month.
What is it, Pride?
National Coming Out Day.
You got help.
Help
this shit. TC, baby.
I'm like, there's a lot of days. Every day is a holiday.
Right, I'm like,
I did not say pride.
Okay, so National
Exactly
Coming Out
right.
where you going with this, child?
Damn.
All right, go ahead.
No, National Coming Out Day.
Yes.
How do you feel about the day? And do you remember when you came out?
Very long time ago.
Sure.
I'm 42.
I'm coming your way.
Psychologist,
I came out.
chime in.
Yeah. I came out at 19. I'm 42 now. Yes, I remember.
The story
The story,
of it.
I'm not
yes.
going to give you the story. But I will say that I think, because that's a long story. But I will say that I think it's important, like National Coming Out Day. People think, well, why do they need that? Why does it have to be a thing? Some people don't ever feel the need to come out. But for those who feel that they want to, it's a safe space. It's a safe day. It's important for a lot of people, the representation of it, and also just seeing, like, living your life unapologetically and showing up as we said before, as your authentic self is very important.
But it's very hard.
National Coming Out Day.
I celebrated on Instagram. There is a video of me and my mom sitting on the couch, and I had to be like 5-7 years ago. And I was in the house, and I asked my mom on the video, and I said, "Mom, when did you know I was a homo?" And she said, "Well, you came out the shower with a turby towel wrapped around your head." And I said, "Well, what age was that?" Because you told me, back when I came out at 13, that you knew since I was 2. That's because she clocked the femininity. But she said, "Yeah, I always knew since you were 2. I would come home from work, and you would want to, take my earrings off, or you would want to, take my shoes off. You would just cater to me, and everything you did was just so cute." And I was like, "Wow." But yeah, I came out at 13. Officially. My mom did ask me at like 10, and I broke down crying because I was living with my father at the time, and my mom didn't have custody of us. And all I knew from my dad growing up with 6 other brothers that being gay was bad, because we would see the local queer people in DC who, I'm not going to name the names, but I just ran into one of them the other day, and I felt so great to see him. My dad would call them the F word. And my dad looked at me one day, or looked at all of us one day, and said, "Any of you gay, I would kill you." And so I always kept that with me. I've forgiven him for those words. We've actually had conversations years ago about it. We're in a better space. But, I've always been out. I came out the womb expressing who I was, and I could never control it. There's been days where, or, in jobs and situations where they wanted me to, quote unquote, tone it down and tone down your femininity, tone down your presentation. But I can never stay in those jobs. I can't stay in those spaces because I can't operate without expressing. This is an expression of who I am every day.
Right.
Some days I'm sitting on the couch, no makeup on, chilling. That's still an expression of myself. But when I'm ready to show up, I'm ready to show out and show up as myself, no matter what, however that looks that day. So yeah, I think coming out is very important. But on the flip side, I don't think it's necessary all the time. And I think when I say that, I think it's a safety thing. The world doesn't treat queer people, especially more masculine people who perceive to not be act gay or look gay, again, clocking femininity. The world doesn't treat them fairly. The world doesn't even treat us fairly who are out. But, especially growing up in the hood in DC, you can lose your whole block you could lose your job. You could use your life.
Mm-hmm.
You know, people can disown you. And it's not easy. It's not easy at all. But me coming out, I didn't have a choice. I was already out. And I thank God for that because I don't know who I would be, and I can't imagine another version of myself at all. I can't see it.
Okay. Reesa?
I'm still healing to be able to verbalize that conversation.
Therapist?
Yeah, no, dead ass though. Like I can't talk through that. I can't navigate through that. I'm still at a point in healing, but I will piggyback on the whole point that it is important to have it, you know, to acknowledge it for those who do need it. I think when I first start, like the word pride, you know, pride in itself was always a negative word, you know. Pride comes before fall, and, you know, it's loud and rambunctious and, you know, shh, quiet down, you're too loud, you know. And I can definitely just say my being, if you will, has always been that. It's always been you're too loud or you're too young to say stuff like that, or I told you to sit down, so sit down, don't ask me why type energy. And that can kind of reflect in that space too, I guess you could say. So I will say in the last, I don't know, decade or so, maybe I can see pride in another meaning, you know, having pride in your journey and in the healing that I have been able to accomplish, and the boldness, if you will, and to be able to show up as me every day, even though very realistic, like in real life, I've been tried to be stuffed down since I was a child, you know. There are aspects of it that I can kind of navigate through. That's why music is such a good thing for me, because music came and gave me words and clarity in terms of auditorily sharing my story before I could really process it. Now in my maturity, as I've grown, and I've grown tremendously spiritually as well, in my own journey in the last year and a half or so, I would say, I'm able to speak better, but it still comes out the best in my music. And not to say wait for my next project, but low key, like, yeah, because
Shameless plug.
yeah, like low key though, because I cannot navigate that conversation yet. When I can, I will do it then, because I don't want.
I think
to
you just did it though. I mean,
victim,
really,
you know, we're not victims.
I feel like you just did it.
Yeah, so that's my story.
I appreciate that. I feel like you just did it, and
Oh, okay, cool.
thank you for that.
Thank you for understanding.
You are, so,
We love it.
excuse the
we
pun.
meet you where you at, honey.
Period.
Just for the record, I have been a fan of Reesa for a really long time, and her music is amazing to me. I've had the pleasure to play a lot of her records.
And first DJ here to like stamp. Easy brought me on the show. That was my first time. I still got the pictures from that. Like back when I dropped.
I put her on the introduction of my show and everything.
Easy was not playing, has never played about me whole time, and I value that too.
Yeah,
Easy, thank you.
I value you, and I appreciate your talent.
Thank you.
Really.
Thank you.
Now, before we wrap up, how many more minutes we have, Nadia? She said. She said. Okay. She said we have no more minutes left. Do we have any final words from you, Riley?
No, but this was fun. This was cool. Yeah.
Okay. You enjoyed yourself?
I did, yes.
Okay.
Absolutely.
All right. Looking forward to seeing you perform out there.
Yes, you have to come to the show.
Yeah. Now, I have to ask you this.
Yes.
Have you ever met Beyonce?
I
yet?
have.
Oh.
3 times.
Oh, really?
Yep.
Man, I only met her twice. Okay, really quick, in like 30
I
seconds.
never talk about it.
Okay. Oh, yeah.
Sign that NDA, honey.
Okay.
It's a wrap.
All I can confirm is yes, I have.
Awesome. Great. That's beautiful. Yeah. Final words?
I want to say that I appreciate this conversation. I know we see each other out, and we always show each other love, and we talk. We've worked together.
Yeah.
Child, we hosted brunches together.
Yes,
shout out to Nadia. And we seen each other. I booked you before, and we had a good time. And we see each other, and we all support each other. But this conversation that we've had today with Easy, thanks to you, has been like eye-opening, a deep connection between us now. Now we have a better understanding of who we are, what we do, and how we became the person we are today. And I also want to say thank y'all, including everybody here, for loving me and appreciating me and supporting me in whatever era I, show up in. And we've known each other for years.
Yes.
Like
Very long time.
baby gay Justin. Like could not blend my eyeshadow Justin.
Baby gay. Baby
Right.
Gay Justin. I have to remember that now. That's your new nickname.
Let's start
nigga.
something.
But no, like, and we've all grown and matured and,
Right.
and blossomed, and it's beautiful to see. So I just want to say thank y'all for doing that
Thank
and,
you.
and supporting, me and whatever the hell it is that I'm
Yes.
doing.
And we'll always.
And we'll always,
Yeah.
right. So yeah, I love you both.
Love you too, Yang.
All right,
Yeah,
give it up
exactly.
for Reese, Renee, producer
whoa.
Stewart, Riley Knoxx. That is our show, live from the district. We'll see you next time.
Period.
Peace.
Live from the district. Live from the district. Live